The strategy was to make an alliance with at least one or two strong people that I knew that I was going to play out the game and that really knew the game, knew Survivor, and basically take those people with me to whatever the final two or final three. And my whole focus was taking some strong people, because I believe me, I tried to downplay kind of my strengths as much as possible, just to be not somebody who's singled out as a strong player and somebody who really knew the game. So I kind of downplayed my knowledge of the game as best as I could. But still, I could, on the island, there was people that were a little bit more paranoid than I was. I think I was a little bit too much of a threat because I was talking to everybody, and especially Mikey B, him and I were kind of singled out as people that were really strategizing. And I think that gave an opportunity to some of the, I'm not going to say weaker players, but some of the players that were already singled themselves out and eliminated themselves out of our basic 7 strong players. Gave them an opportunity to say, hey, wait a second, we don't want to go. We don't want to go yet. You know, we're in this game and we want to play it to the end, and we're going to eliminate people who we see as threats. So I'm a salesperson, so I need to have always the upper hand, and I need to know what's going on and have a, basically be able to control a situation. So by me feeling that I was controlling a situation, it felt a little too easy. So it did feel like, okay, well, we've got our set 7, I don't really have anything to fear. But then that's when fear kind of creeps up into your mind the most, is when you feel like everything's okay, everyone's on the same side, and it's an alternate reality to what's actually going on. An hour before Tribal Council, I really felt like I could have been a little bit more busy with my plan. And I do feel like I held back in those moments. Maybe a couple hours before Tribal Council, I could have done a little bit more of my homework and took people aside and tried to, basically information is key in this game. I mean, information is everything. Whoever has the most information wins the game. So if you can create as much, if you can go out there and be the information holder, that's one of the keys to this game. And I feel like I didn't really express to myself how important that was, to really have the key of knowledge in this game and know everyone's plan of attack before it actually happened. And, I got my throat slit, on the chopping block. It is extremely hard to live on an island with 1 machete and no fire. That is extreme. I can't really say I've had any experience going into Survivor where I thought that it was going to be as tough as it really was, because you can drink all the coconuts you want, but literally we're scrambling. Once the sun's going down, you're done. If you don't have your shelter already prepared, if you don't have a roof over your head when these torrential rains come, you're miserable. You're cold, you're miserable, you're wet. I mean, that's just, the elements play such a big factor in survival, and conquering the elements, you can't do it with just 1 machete. That's all we were left with. And that's a really, really hard thing. Going after your own food is something that most men never experience and never will have to experience. We pay good money for that kind of stuff, and there's a reason for it. It's really freaking hard. Going out and, I couldn't even carry a clam to save my life. I mean, those things are so huge. I mean, I wouldn't, if it was just me on the island, I thought about that a lot. If it was just me on that island, would I be able to survive? And the answer that I've come across is, I would probably starve the first 3-4 days, and then I would just, survival instincts would kind of kick in, and you just have to kill anything around you and eat it, or, just learn how to use a machete, pick it up and start cracking coconuts, or, whatever. You can't build a shelter, in 2 hours just by yourself. It's just not possible. It's already been a huge change in me. Even just 6 days into it, I felt a big change. I believe that I have a little bit more power in myself to overcome obstacles in my life now because of this. And I know that it would be even more so if I would have stayed in the game a little bit longer. But I can really foresee what happened in this game, why I got voted off early, and I really embrace it at this point. It's something that you either are pissed off about, or you can just embrace it and be happy with it. I had this amazing experience. I'll probably never have this experience ever in my life, and I'm just really thankful that I was out there doing everything that I possibly could and trying to play my game as best as I could. And I didn't hold back. I didn't hold back as much as I maybe normally would have in a social setting like this. I really tried to fit in and do everything that I could to play a social game.